1 second. Starting. My computer backing up. Hold on. Okay. Great to see you all today. We'll be starting in just a moment. Today is Monday, January 25th, 2021. It is the 12th day of the month of Shvat. And we now begin the Torah reading of Beshalach. Just give us a second here. Oh boy. Okay. The Torah now tells us as the Jewish people come out of Egypt. And this week's Torah reading, it's about them crossing the Red Sea. But today we're going to talk about something that helped the Jewish people get through their most troubling times, their trials and tribulations, their intense slavery of the 210 years of labor and suffering under the Pharaoh. How did they get through it all? And the answer is faith. But what is faith? What does faith really mean? What is faith? They say a story about once this fellow was teaching a class, and he's telling them about the greatness of faith. And he tells them how faith is amazing, that you just have to be real, be unbelievably calm no matter the situation. And as the rabbi is teaching the class in the woods about the concept of faith, this big grizzly bear comes, and it's about to attack, and the rabbi's first sitting quietly, but then the bear gets closer and closer, and he jumps to the tree, and he's hiding them until the bear runs away. And then he continues with this class and says, there's faith, and then there's faith. What is faith? But what does it really mean to have faith? And one of the things that we find with faith, can everybody hear me in the class? Can you hear me? One of the things about faith, okay, just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, because I think I'm getting some comments that people can't hear me. Okay, so one of the things about faith is that it may be questionable. How do we go about it? What do we do with it? Like, faith is a little bit of an oxymoron. Think about it. If I believe and I have faith that God is going to give me everything I need, maybe I should just sit back, say Psalms all day, not go to work, and everything will be all right. I have faith. God will give me what I need. Where does faith begin and where does faith end? Where do I say I need to go to work? Where does it say I need to pray? And at what point do I juggle the ones in between? How do I find that happy medium to appreciate what faith is all about and understand and realize how faith can actually change my life? Especially in today's day and age, where there's a lot of a struggle to be able to have that faith. It's a big struggle to be able to get through the regular norms. The world is in chaos. The world is in upheaval. This country's closing their airport. This country's not letting people in from that country. To be able to move, you have to take that test, this test. The whole chaotic scene. Schools open, schools close. A kid comes in, the whole craziness. People have been in their house for so long. At what point do we say, enough? I'll have faith and God will take care of me. There's a story told, and I found the story amazing. This is actually a letter, how the Rebbe responds to somebody who had the following question. He lived in Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. It was a very far-off country, where at the time he was a shochet, slaughtering kosher animals, and that's where the animals were, so therefore he went there. The problem was that was a place that there wasn't any Jewish establishment, that he didn't have a minyan, he didn't have anything of that type of stuff. And it came the time that his father passed away. And he needed to say Kaddish for his father, but he had to make money to be able to pay for his father's burial. And he had to make money to support his family. That was his livelihood. And he wrote to the Rebbe the following question. Should he stay where he is and not have a place to say Kaddish, but have a livelihood to pay up for his father's burial and so on? Or should he move to a place where he will be able to say Kaddish, but he doesn't know if he'll have a livelihood. He doesn't know if he'll make a living. And the Rebbe answered him as follows. He says, you have an obligation to your father to say Kaddish, but you also have an obligation to pay for his burial. Paying for his burial is just as respectful, if not more. You can hire somebody to say Kaddish. And this way you can have a livelihood, pay for his burial. Kaddish will be said by another person. And at the same time, you can make a livelihood. That's what the Rebbe answered him. But then the Rebbe wrote a parenthesis and said as follows. And here's the kicker. And the Rebbe says, but if you have absolute faith in God, that God is the one that provides sustenance to you and your family, then you will be able to move to a place where there is a minyan for you to say Kaddish, and you'll have a livelihood, and you'll be able to pay for your father's burial, and you'll have it all. What the Rebbe was telling this person over here is that we make a choice of how we want faith to affect our life. We allow faith to go up until here, or we can make faith go all the way. We can have faith create a new existence, or we can let faith work within the existence. Now, if so, one should say, okay, let me sit back, let me fold my hands, I'll have faith and everything will work out. Comes this week's Torah reading and tells us, no, it's not the way it works. This week's Torah reading has a lot about faith. The Jewish people crossing the Red Sea, they had to have faith that the walls were going to come crashing down on them. But then it comes to the manna. Just an interesting side note, it's a custom this week. Before Shabbat, this was from Rabbi Yehuda Lowy, the Maral of Prague, that he would put out food for the birds, because this week is this Shabbos Shira where the birds sang along with the Jewish people, but also has to do with the manna. This week, God tells the Jewish people about the manna. And he tells them that you're going to have food from heaven. And every single week, you're going to collect, every single day, you're going to go outside, you can have that food from heaven. Then on Friday, you're going to have a double portion for Friday and for Saturday. Because on Saturday, you're not going to collect the manna. Now, if God wanted to feed the Jewish people miraculously, as he did through the manna, why did the Jews have to go out and collect it? Why did they have to collect on Friday for Saturday a double portion? Let him just give them Friday, enough manna for Saturday, doesn't have to be a double portion, that they should be able to eat, and it should satisfy them for 2 days. Or let the food just fall into their house. Why did they have to go out and collect it? Why every single morning did they have to go out and collect it? Why doesn't he give them once in the beginning of the week for the whole week, the same way he gave them Friday for Saturday? What was the rationale? That every single day the Jews should go and collect the manna, and at the same time recognize that on Friday there's going to be a double portion for Saturday. And over here, God sets the ground rules for faith. Faith means that I make a vessel, I do my part, and I have absolute faith that God's going to do his part. Faith means that I do my utmost in the physical realm, but I also realize this is not the reason why I get the blessing. You have people that go to work. There are people that go to work 40 hours a week. Some people come home with $50,000, some people with $20,000, and some people with $7 million. Who's to decide why? That's God. We need to make the vessel. What God was telling the Jewish people every single morning, you need to wake up, go out there and collect the manna. But realize who gave you that manna. Almighty God. Realize that who gives the opportunity for this manna to last from Friday to Saturday? God. And if God wanted, he could have gave you Sunday, it should last until Saturday as well. But he wants you every single morning to go out and appreciate and realize that ultimately it all comes from heaven. Everything we have comes from heaven. And we have to be cognizant and realize that the greatest blessings in life, we are merely vessels accepting them, getting them. But the blessings are being showered on us. We need to open up our hands and eyes and see them. Faith is that tool to realize the blessings that God continues to shower us, even during the darkest times, which takes us back to the Jews in Egypt. Our sages tell us it was because of faith that the Jewish people came out of Egypt. That was their merit. They weren't scholars. They were idolaters. But they had faith in God. They had faith in what Joseph told them before his passing, that God will remember you and take you out of this land. But it was a struggle. There was darkness. There was craziness. There was intense labor, 210 years. But they knew that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Even in their day-to-day toil, they realized there's an end to this. The same is true in our own life. Every single one of us has our difficulties, has our trials and tribulations, has our challenges of faith, especially now. We need to make the vessel. We need to go out there and realize, yes, we need to be careful. We need to do what we have to do to make the vessel. But at the same time, we have to recognize that every single day, just like the manna, God continues to shower his blessings on us. And as long as we make the vessel, as long as we have that faith, as long as we create a positive vibe around us, positive things will happen to us. My dear friends, as we go into the rest of the week, as today is the beginning of the rest of the week, we need to remember, keep our faith strong and at our side. And every single morning, rejuvenate that faith, revigorate that faith, and realize, like the manna fell to the Jewish people every single morning, so too God's blessings come to us every single day. And on Shabbos, a double blessing. So enjoy the blessings, keep the faith, stay strong, and it's going to be good. It is good. It will be good, and it's only getting better. God bless you. Have a wonderful day, and see you again tomorrow at 1 p.m. All the best.